My name is Doris Charest, and I'm from St. Albert, Alberta. I am a visual artist that creates in mixed media. This is my second time applying to the Works Art and Design Festival. The first time was when I was painting, and now I've turned to sculpture, and I decided to apply, mainly because the theme suited my work so well. Essences of the Wild is actually an installation that deals with small parts of nature that we don't see very often, or basically we ignore because they're down on the ground really small and we ignore them. In 3 words, I would describe Essences of the Wild as fragile nature revisited. My work explores our relationship with the natural world by showing parts of it that are often overlooked. Those very small pieces of nature that are at our feet, and we barely take time to look at them. I select the pieces of nature that I work with when I go on my walks. Generally, something will catch my eye and I will stop, and if it's possible to gather it and dry it or find a way to keep it, I will do that. I've found all kinds of very interesting treasures, everything from discarded objects all the way to very beautiful small flowers. In order to create my mixed media pieces, well, I started at first with an ostrich egg. Then I made a mold of the ostrich egg. Then I made images with the mold, the half shell that I use, and then I filled it in with polyfill to make it smooth, and I sanded it, and I did that maybe 2-3 times, and then I collaged the inside of the shell, and then sometimes I leave the outside of the shell white if I really like the texture of the white of the shell, and other times I will paint the outside or spatter paint so it looks more like an egg. And then I create a little mini scene inside the egg, and when I'm doing that, I invent a story to go with that, but I don't tell anybody what the story is. I have a story for every single one, but I'd like people to interpret it in their own way and create their own little story. I'm hoping that after the people see my exhibit, they will actually slow down and start looking at their feet or seeing the little parts of nature that maybe they haven't noticed before. Essences of the Wild reacts to the festival theme, mainly because most of the materials that I've collected comes from the St. Albert, Edmonton area, and I've picked up a few pieces when I went to Lethbridge, another time when I went to Calgary, but essentially it's very local. Well, it's very exciting to be part of the Works. It's a very famous festival, and I just love the theme this year. And I would like people to go away and start looking at nature differently after they've seen my exhibit, so that they start noticing things they've never seen before, maybe just slow down and start looking at nature differently.